Morning, folks. Good to be back. Hope you're all well this morning. For a beautiful morning. We'll get there in a minute, though. Let's get Facebook on board. 2 seconds, folks. Okay, that's Facebook on board. Morning, folks. How's it going today? See Reagan Elites there. Great show last night. And I'll let you know I stayed all the way to the end. Penguins in fucking space. Get a grip. Okay. Anyway, well, wait until we got a Facebook run. Hi, Melanie. Got a Facebook run. Got the Indy 2 Cafe t-shirt on the day because I'm just back from the Indy 2 Cafe weekend, as you know. So, a good weekend it was too. So let's get this started. Indy Truck Davy put the truck at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it is a beautiful morning. Scorchio, it's already taps off at 17 degrees. But, you know what they say, never cast a coat to maize out. Okay. A couple more minutes, let a few more people get on board. We'll see who's in. We got Melanie's in, George is in, Leap's in, Jeanette, Eddie. Better than Musk owning Mars. Aye, you're right, Reagan Elite. Martin, the hippie, Paul. Who else we got? Alistair, Linda, George, June, Julie. Are green tatties poisonous? Don't know. Wouldn't eat green tatties, me. Hi, Jillian. This is back up the top. Let's get back down to the bottom. Hey, John. Morning, mate. Hi, Margaret. Right, nearly there. First up this morning, folks. All the English papers are coming first this morning, folks. So let's go, shall we? First up, we have The Guardian. Let's stick it up. Spain declares state of emergency after power blackout causes chaos. Aye. The question's going to be is what caused it? Well, there's a fair bit of speculation, but as of 09:44 this morning, they still hadn't given an explanation. Right, next headline up. Whitehall pushes for open at Trump Turnberry. Why is the civil service getting involved in trying to force a sporting organisation into handing over an event to the big orange man baby? Interesting one, that. And sex offenders to face ban on claiming UK asylum. Now, when you read into that, folks, apparently this is Labour trying to out Farage in the run-up to the Runcorn and Henley by-election. But you can't out Farage. But the interesting bit about that is the majority of people coming here in small boats haven't got any paperwork. They're no documented. They don't have any documents to say who they are. So if they're a sex offender coming across the channel, they just get a different name. How do you know who's a sex offender and who's no? Unless you have their identification. So an interesting one, that one. But we see that poor immigrants and asylum seekers are still getting pillaged, even in the alleged left-wing press. Quite a lot for the first one up this morning. Next one up, we have the Metro. We'll put it up. And the Metro, pain as Spain mainly off the mains. Huge electric blackout hits 50 million in Europe. Wow, that's some power cut. Apparently it took out most of the Iberian Peninsula. Interesting. Right, next up we have the Tory graph. We'll stick it up. Net zero blame for blackout chaos. As I say, as of 10:15 this morning, there had been no official reason for this blackout given. Net zero. I guess this is where the Telegraph gets to claim that the wind didn't blow. Anyway, second headline there: sex criminals banned from asylum in UK. As I say, how do you find out? And the bottom one: Starmer and the EU to sign anti-Trump pact in relationship reset. Now, what's that about, folks? Well, for all the documents I've read so far on it, and it's only been the press, because apparently there's been a leak in the EU. Doesn't sound very EU-ish for there to be a leak. But anyway, apparently Starmer and the European Commissioner, von der Leyen, will sign an agreement that says both the EU and the UK will work together to ensure global economic stability. Now, what I've seen so far says nothing about a reset, nothing about a trade deal. It just says that they're going to enter a pact to try to say that we'll both work together to ensure global economic stability and stability in global trade. Okay. But it would appear the papers are reading more into it than what there is to be seen so far. But we'll find out, because apparently this agreement will be signed in early May. But once again, we have a UK executive going to sign agreements without even putting it to the Parliament. I don't remember anything about global economic stability and economic stability being in the Labour manifesto. So if they're going to enter into any agreement, surely it should be put before the Parliament first. There we go. Right, what's the eye got for us this morning? They said all the English rags first, folks. Well, most of them anyway. Spain and Portugal thrown into chaos after rare weather event leads to mass blackouts. Now, net zero, rare weather event. As I say, I don't know, I haven't had a look for a wee while, but at 9:44 this morning, there was still no official reason given for this blackout. What we are hearing is that the system wasn't hacked. So the likelihood is the system was bloody hacked. And as most of Europe's power is integrated, you can understand why it took out the whole of the Iberian Peninsula. Right, the scum has Spain and Portugal blackout, no beer in Benidorm, power cut to taps and tills. There you go. That's aimed at holidaymakers, I assume. Next up, the right-wing rag, the Daily Fail. We'll stick it up. FM and Sturgeon face growing anger over failure to say sorry over bombshell ruling. Fuck saying sorry. When did we start demonising the people who are trying to ensure that everybody's got equal rights? Apparently this is from within the party. Well, if people within the party want to debate this, that's fine. But don't expect the people who are trying to make life better and easier for a small section of our community to apologise. It's the fucking courts in Westminster that should be apologising for extremely poorly written legislation which denied these people the same rights as the rest of us under something stupidly named the Equalities Act 2010. Didn't there appear to be any equality in it for trans people? Fucking apologise. Miss Sturgeon and John should not apologise for trying to make life better for people here in Scotland. Should never ever apologise for trying to improve the lives of people. Fuck off, right-wing stupid rag. Here's a rant for you this morning, folks. Fucking mental. Mental. So the people who are trying to improve the quality of life for a section of our community should apologise for trying to make their lives better. Has the world been flipped in its fucking head? Unreal. Unbloody real. They when I get angry. This is what I talk about when we talk about moral decline. There's a major moral decline when the people trying to help others are fucking demonised. You couldn't make it up. No, you could. Next up, we have the anti-Scottish Scotsman. What's this fucking loony rag got for us today? Carbon tax squeezing life out of industry, warns Ineos boss. And apparently, Radcliffe is refusing to clean up the deliberate sabotage of the Scottish economy because of taxes set elsewhere and high energy costs created elsewhere. Because we've got plenty of fucking energy. We've also got the highest fuel poverty in Europe and in the UK. Fuel poverty in England, 17%. Fuel poverty in Scotland, 31%. And we produce all the fucking energy. Wow. Wow. You couldn't make it up. Fucking Radcliffe wants tax breaks to clean up a mess while sabotaging the fucking Scottish economy. Oof. Wow. Unfucking believable. Sabotaging the economy on behalf of the UK government, who give them £600 million of taxpayers' money, 60 million of that of which will have come from Scottish taxpayers, to take his fucking refinery to Belgium. Oof. This one's a fucking stormer, folks. This one's a stormer. You're going to love this. The Herald. FM angers poverty charities over child payment limit. John was with the third sector and they asked him about putting up the child payment again. And John's had to say to them, can I do that right now? And explain to them why. What this rag says is, John said, it would price people out of work if he put it up a bit more. That's not what John said at all. He reminded the charities that universal credit is in play here. And that the majority of people on universal credit are actually in poor paying jobs. So if he raises the limit any more at this point in time, it will be taken from the universal credit. This is how you spin a lie. Now, I don't know how far you can go because I don't know very much about the benefit system. But when you get into the body of the article, it tells you what he actually said. He actually said there's other benefits in play here, and you can only go so far before it starts affecting those other benefits. And then they'll start losing money, and that would be counterproductive. The idea is to raise people out of poverty, children specifically. No plunge them deeper in. What's the Rant go for us this morning? It's on a sex abuse in sports story. McCaffrey, whistleblower, speaks out. I dreamed of killing football monster. And this is the Celtic Boys Club sex scandal thing. You know, I don't really date crime stories, so I didn't bother my arse with it. But I am aware that it is definitely the Celtic Boys Club sex scandal thing. Although I haven't been following the story, it has been in the papers, as you know, so I have been reading out the headlines on it. Next up, we have the National. What's the National vote for us this morning? Not wrong one. FM calls on transmit to acts banned at centre of storm. Swinney joins criticism of kneecap. Well, John's Bounty joined the criticism of kneecap. Kneecap were calling on the people to kill their MPs, apparently. John's a politician. If this band is using its music and its platform to promote the notion of hurting politicians, then they shouldn't be given a platform. Unions demand practical solutions to stop far right. Well, trade unions, here you go. I'll give you the fucking starting point, shall I? You're in the majority of workplaces. How about you start talking to your work colleagues, find out which of them are on the far fucking right, and talk them down. Shatter their delusions and give them facts. But trade unions, you're in the workplace. You have contact with millions of workers. Fuck's sake. UN court begins hearings into Israel's starving people of Gaza. Folks, it started yesterday. The Irish submission is on my timeline. And the stories that were coming, and the quotes from Israeli politicians which were being quoted in the court, fucking horrendous. I suggest if you want to see the Irish submission yesterday and the opening day of this hearing, it's on my timeline, the YouTube video, okay? I'm trying to stay calm here, folks. I'll stop sharing that, take it down. The Looney Rag the Express has. I will not let Labour destroy rural way of life, says Badenoch. Tory leader Kimmy Badenoch vows to fight for farming communities as the lifeblood of this country. I'm assuming they're talking about England there, when they're talking about this country. But farming is also very important here in Scotland. We like to eat and we are very good at it. That's why we export so much fine food and drink. we're missing one, so I better go and get it. Here we go. Okay, next up we have the Times. What's it got for us this morning? Milkshake tax looms in broader sugar levy. Ministers to tighten rules on fizzy drinks too. Getting desperate now, eh? Looking for any avenue to squeeze the people rather than tax the fucking rich. Sugar tax to be broadened, folks, to include more products. So, in the middle of cost of living crisis, the Chancellor's putting fucking prices up. No, there's that many people out there who are still buying lots of fizzy drinks and milkshakes. Sometimes you wonder what the fuck. You know, people can barely afford to fucking eat, heat, pay the bills. And Rachel for accounts wants to stick the prices of foods up as if they're not going up fucking fast enough by inflation. Oh dear. Don't get me wrong. I think a sugar tax is a good idea. But now's not the time to try and squeeze more out of people who are already fucking struggling. Right. See if it's dark and light in our day, shall we? I know the sun's going to lighten mine shortly. I'm going gardening, just for fun. And the Star has Portugal blames Spain. Bad Halls vibe. Atmospheric vibration shut off power for week. Actually, most of it's back up again, Star. But there you go. Mere speculation. Apparently, we had atmospheric vibrations. I guess they mean a sunspot, a solar storm. Right, that is what it is. It'll be interesting to find out what the day say broke the power system down on the Iberian Peninsula. So it shall. It should be interesting. I mean, I'm not opposed to sugar tax. I'm not. We should get more of that crap out of our foods. People are highly addicted to sugar. Panorama looked into these pouches that young mothers are feeding their children. With very little in the way of nutrition, but there's shitloads of sugar in it, creating the addicts of the future, sugar addicts. I'm not against the sugar tax. I just think this isn't the time to squeeze people on the poorest income because they're the ones that are eating processed foods. So, I just think this is the wrong time to be increasing taxes on food products when people are struggling. And we as a community are raising huge amounts to ensure that people get fed. You know, D-Dog, I'm not arguing, I'm not arguing about sugar tax. I'm not. It's a good thing. And highly regulated processed foods is a good thing as well. Because the poorest among us eat them. And they need to get the same nutritional value as the rest of us. But this is not the time for it. This isn't the time to hit the poor. This is the time to hit the rich. As you know, because after this programme, of course, I'll be... Karen, if you're there, give me a call about that place in Easter. Will you find out what it is today? I'm trying to get details for a food bank in Castlemilk and Easter House today, so, So, folks, that's it for the day. Huge problems in Spain. I'm looking forward to getting an actual explanation. They said they weren't hacked. So, was it a solar storm? Or atmospheric vibrations? Was it that the wind stopped blowing? Looking forward to hearing about it. Right, be back tomorrow morning to do it all again. Thanks very much for tuning in big numbers again today. And if I've missed any super chats, thanks very much. And thanks to the moderators for moderating. Okay, if you could hit the like button, folks, it helps the algorithm. Share on your social media platform if you think people would enjoy this. But thanks for tuning in. See you all tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. And apparently the weather's getting better as the week goes on. It's going to be 21 degrees this afternoon, folks. Scott, cheerio. Enjoy.